is The Furnace with John Burton.
So the level of reformation needed in the church is mind-blowing. It's beyond a minor tweak or an adjustment. We need radical reformation, and I'm going to blow your mind. I have talked about this for years, but it's crazy to me that so few are understanding this. I want to encourage you, forward this message to your pastor, forward it to those who are hungry for revival. I'm gonna share something that I believe is a critical need. It's a critical redirect if we hope to see revival come to this nation. For revival to come to your region, to your city, there needs to be a drastic, wholesale change in the mindset of why we do church. Why do we go to church? And here it is. The church, and when I say church, I'm talking about the Sunday go to meeting. We're going to church. We are gathering together as believers. We're coming together, right? Usually in America, it's happened on Sunday mornings and other nights of the week or other days of the week. So the purpose of the church, the gathering, the Ekklesia, is not to draw in the lost. It's not. Yet, everywhere I go, churches are setting themselves up to be focused on drawing in the lost. Now, it sounds like a great idea. It sounds like, we want the lost to get saved. Well, of course we do, right? We want the harvest to come in. We want all of that. But the problem is we're using the wrong vehicle. We're using the wrong tool. We're using the wrong structure. It's wrong. We're using the wrong one to do that. So, and the reason is because especially in America, people tend to go to church once a week, Sunday mornings. So pastors are trying to create this catalytic momentum on Sunday mornings, and so Sunday mornings becomes a time when we're trying to do it all. We're trying to fill the seats. We're trying to get the lost in. We're trying to do everything. We've got Sunday school. We got all the children's ministry. We got all sorts of everything. And on Sunday mornings, and listen, it's compromising the pursuit of revival. It's compromising the mission of the church. The church, the Ekklesia, the gathering. Understand what I'm saying. I know some of you are thinking, but we are all the church. No, listen. I'm talking about the Ekklesia, the gathering, the assembly, all right? The purpose of that is not to draw on the lost, but it is a believer's meeting. 100%. It is a believer's meeting. Why this is compromising the pursuit of revival is because now, instead of doing what must be done in the Ekklesia, in the gathering, we're not doing that. We're doing all of these other things trying to draw in the lost. Okay? What should we be doing? We should be raging on fire in intercession. Sunday mornings should be prayer meetings. We should be coming together, contending in just off-the-chart, supernatural, spirit-driven prayer, tongues of fire. I mean, it's supposed to be a prophetic atmosphere where the Spirit of the Lord is communicating at a high level, and we're receiving at that high level. And I mean, it's just a powerful, vibrant, impactful, intense environment or atmosphere, right, of prayer. And so that's what it's called to be. From that place, there's going to be other elements, and we're going to be able to decree the word. We're going to be able to release the word. There's prophetic revelation that's going to come. There's messages that can come out of that, equipping of the saints, all of that. So, but primarily, foundationally, the Ekklesia, the gathering, is to be a prayer meeting. That is the call. And so we should not be setting our churches up in such a way where we are trying to bring in the lost. And again, it's a great desire because we want people to get saved. But it doesn't work well that way because it's not designed to work that way. We must see prayer return as the main thing, the primary thing, the foundational governmental ministry of the church. When we do that, then we're going to be equipped, we're going to be empowered, we're going to be anointed, we're going to be full of the Spirit of the Lord. I mean, all of that's going to be happening. And then revival can hit, and then from that place, I mean, the hungry and the desperate are going to be just rocked by the supernatural shock and awe of God. So that's how that works. Now understand, I'm not saying that churches are to be closed off to the lost, not at all. So what I see happening is that revival breaks out and the lost can come in, but we are not turning down the temperature, we're turning it up. We are not trying to make it comfortable, not at all. I mean, oh my gosh, Pastor, listen to me. If your idea is to make it comfortable for the sinner in your church, you are absolutely setting them up for an eternity outside of God, or to very possibly be falsely saved to where they think they're saved, but they're really not. You need to turn up the atmosphere. I've said so many times that, when I was leading churches, I refused to tone down the activity of the Holy Spirit out of respect of those less hungry. I refused to do that. And so no. When visitors come in to such a wildly supernatural, weighty atmosphere where the presence of God is just hovering, they're either going to run to the altar with tears in their eyes or they're going to run out the door cursing. That's what we need to see in our churches. No way do we need the sinners or the lost to be comfortable. Not a chance. And this idea, all of this seeker ministry, no way. It's got to be shut down. I'm telling you. There's Ichabod written above the doorpost of many churches that are adopting seeker mentalities. Again, you don't have a bad heart by wanting to bring the lost in. You just have bad understanding of the Word of God. We must see the church radically reformed. It has to happen. Churches stop doing setting up your services in such a way to where you're just focusing on the visitors and you're drawing, this whole assimilation thing and shut it down. Be done with it. Get rid of it. There's an article that I wrote recently, and it's getting traction again, and a lot of wows in terms of responses after people are reading that article about how it can take a spirit of witchcraft to focus on church growth, because now we're trying to manipulate, we're trying to control, we're trying to do things our own way, we're trying to play on people's emotions. We're setting the whole system up in a way it should not be set up, in hopes of growing the church, in hopes of drawing in the lost or the seekers, in the hopes of doing that. And read that article. Go to it's Charisma published it. I don't have the actual title of the article. I can't remember it, but it's fairly recent. Just title or just a search. My name, John Burton. Just go to Google and do it. John Burton, witchcraft, church growth, and I think that'll probably pop up. But definitely read that article. Send that article to every pastor that you know and ask them to read that article, because again, it addresses a lot of what I'm talking about right now. The church has to shift. You think about outreach. Is there a place for outreach? Of course, yeah, there is. There is a place for outreach, but in most of the scenarios in the church today, it's just out of order. It's not done right. Not all. There's some churches out there that are rocking it, of course. but so often it's out of order. And people are wanting to do outreach, and you've got evangelists out there evangelizing, and they have zero prayer life. And it should not be. They need to be shut down. They need to be pulled off the streets, because what they're communicating to those who don't know God is not what you want communicated. And so we need the people, we need the Ekklesia gathering together on fire, burning in prayer. Do not set your services up in such a way that it focuses on visitors or on assimilation or in drawing in the lost. Don't do it. It's out of order. It's not biblically correct. It's wrong. It's not right. And when I say it's wrong, I'm not saying it's sinful. There's so many people with great hearts that are doing this, but it's just not right. Gather the believers, gather the intercessors, gather the prophetic, gather the remnant, gather those people. That's the Ekklesia. It's the governmental authority in the region. Gather the Ekklesia. That's church. And then from there, see what God does. From there, the marketplace can be impacted. From there, all sorts of things can happen. And there's a lot of things, that even the church itself, and there's appropriate outreach. There's a time for outreach. There's a way to do it, and yeah, definitely, of course, do that. And then see the new convert just baptized in fire. See, they're not coming into a nice, comfortable atmosphere. Let me throw this out there to y'all. We don't want to create our churches in such a way where we're just trying to make the visitors or make people who are coming in just feel connected. That shouldn't be our goal. Our goal is to be ministering to the Lord. And when they come in, if they're looking for human relationships, they're going to possibly be disappointed on the front end, because it ain't primarily about that. It ain't foundationally about that. But they're going to walk in and people are on their face all over the room crying out to God, and they're going to be undone by the Spirit of the Lord. And like I said before, they're going to, like in the book of Acts chapter 2, it says some marveled, some mocked. You'll know that church services are rightly ordered, and that the spirit of revival is in the mix, is if you have those two extremes as the predominant expressions, the predominant responses, that they are either marveling or they are mocking. They're either running to the altars or they're running out the door. And so, yeah, man, I mean, we got to think about this. There's so many. I mean, it's so rare to find a church nowadays that is not trying to do the church growth thing. That's just gathering the people to pray and to contend. And we need to get back to that. We really do. The church service, the Ekklesia, is not for the lost. Do not design your programs, your ministries, or anything for the lost. It's not for the lost. It's for the believer. And if we do that right, I think the spirit of revival is going to land. So let me know what you think about that. And do you go to a church, or do you know of a church that's doing this? That's really doing this, and it's a believers meeting, and they're going hard after God, and they're out there. They're definitely out there. I'd love to hear about it. All right, talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to The Furnace with John Burton. You can access media, read articles, and partner with the ministry online at burton.tv. And by all means, share this podcast with those who are hungry for revival, reformation, and revolution.